Hi, I'm Hiten.
Hi, I'm Parley.
Hi, I'm Gilly.
Hi, I'm Archana, and we're Mrs. Kapoor's daughter's wedding.
And you're logged on to BizAsiaLive.com.
Hey, it's me, Baddhan here for BizAsiaLive.com. Now, as you know, BizAsia has teamed up and is the digital partner for an event that's going to be taking place later on this month. Now, when I say event, it's going to be quite a massive event because they're coming back for the third consecutive year. It is none other than the musical and the stage drama, Mrs. Kapoor's Daughter's Wedding. And with me, I've got Archana, the director, producer, and the head choreographer of the show. Hiten, the producer and technical director. And also Parley and Darshan, of course, they are the artists from the show as well. So let's say hi to these guys. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
It is so good to have you guys here. I mean, first of all, welcome. I know that we are going to be starting your promotional activities with Miss Kapoor's Daughter's Wedding. How excited are you feeling?
We are super excited. We love Leicester, and it feels like a second home to us. And it's so nice to be back here for the third time now.
Yeah, I mean, as a third consecutive year, I mean,
Yes.
I'm excited about it because I've been following your journey ever since it all started. BizAsia, of course, Subbrush Radio as well. So the whole thing kind of has this kind of personal connect with it. But for the third year, you're bringing it back. I mean, are you feeling excited? Are you feeling apprehensive? What kind of feelings are going inside you at the moment?
Definitely more excited because we know the crowd here, the community here have really welcomed and warmed to Mrs. Kapoor's Daughter's Wedding and have embraced us as a family. So I think the first year when we did come here, we were a bit apprehensive about it all. But I think the feedback that we've got, the fact that the shows are selling out, it really shows that the community really do love Mrs. Kapoor's Daughter's Wedding. And I think we owe it to them to come back here and to start the whole tour with them here in Leicester.
Archana, I do want to ask you because you know, the kind of the way that the show has taken off has been, you know, stupendous in terms of kind of feedback that you got from the audience. So how has it been for you? I mean, have you been taken aback by the kind of reaction from the people, from the audiences, and you know, how's that journey been for you?
I think it's always an overwhelming experience. We've had 27 sellout shows and 3 UK tours, but still every show for us is still a fantastic feeling. We still go scene by scene, and backstage we're laughing our heads off and are overwhelmed and taken back by the audience and the fact that they're laughing with us throughout this journey. So even till now, every show for us is absolutely amazing, and we cannot thank the audience enough for putting us here.
I mean, when you first started writing Mr. Kapoor's Daughter's Wedding, and you know the kind of journey you've seen to where it is on stage. I mean, how pleased do you feel? I mean, how do you feel personally in terms of contentment?
Overwhelmed. I think we always knew that Mrs. Kapoor's Daughter's Wedding was going to be something different. It was going to be something unique. I think when we first started with the skeleton of the actual production and to where it is now, it has been a journey. I know we all sat down, Parley, myself, Hiten, and we kind of developed it into what it is now. And even now, when we're doing rehearsals, we're always adding things in there. We take feedback from our audience members. When we come to Leicester, we add in all the Leicester relative things here. So we're always adding to it. We're always creating new things to it. But from where it started to where it is now, it's definitely something that you have to come and see. There's nothing like this out there.
So we'll talk about the localization, because that's one important thing, like you mentioned. I mean, having Leicester, and then you got the Leicester crowd, and you got the kind of Gujarati touch to it, which we'll talk about, and of course the roads that you mentioned as well. We'll also come back to obviously certain changes that you may have come across. Let's say hi to you guys, because Parley and Darshan, both of you are the kind of stars of the show. It's kind of revolved around you two, because you're playing the kind of Mr. and Mrs. Kapoor in the show.
That's right, yeah.
So Darshan, you first tell us how it's been for you.
It's been phenomenal. The actual journey, I just can't describe to you, like from day one to like almost 30 shows in now.
Yeah.
It's just been phenomenal. Like every single day, like it's not just it's the show itself, it's the build up to it. Like we have so much fun in just like the actual initial build up to the shows and that you've got not just something to look forward to, but you look forward to the rehearsals and seeing everyone again, and it's been phenomenal.
And can I just add, this is just like the kind of small part of the team, because you've got such a massive. I mean, you got the singers, you got the dancers, you've got the rest of the cast as well. So this is nothing compared to obviously the whole kind of general. We'll talk about them as well. Parley, talk about your character as well in the show.
What can I say? Mrs. Kapoor is certainly a huge character. Absolutely love playing her. And yes, that is her. I am a him playing a her, which a lot of people haven't grasped onto, but it doesn't matter. A lot of people have, showered their love on this character of Mrs. Kapoor. I think for me, what makes it amazing is, we've done this show 30 times.
Yeah.
27 of those shows have sold out, but never have I got bored of doing it. So taking on a show like this, the first thing you look into if you're touring is, am I going to have that energy to do it again and again? But all I can say is our unit at AK are so tight-knit now that we find it just as entertaining to do the show as people find to watch the show. So we're constantly, adapting it, making sure it's timeless, making sure that new jokes are added in and old jokes are like replaced or given sort of like a backseat, just to keep it really fresh and energetic and current. And each time we've done the show, it's slightly different, and our audience members have really enjoyed that aspect of it as well. You can come and watch it 3 times, 4 times, and find that actually last times was like this times it's like this. If I come again, it might be different. So it doesn't feel boring for us, and I certainly hope that if you come to watch it again, if you've already seen it once, that you can see that as well. And if you do watch it for the first time, then you're certainly in for a treat.
So yeah, generally in terms of the kind of show's premise, of course that stays the same, but there are some kind of bits here and there that you kind of tweak along the way.
Absolutely.
Just so that if there's any kind of repeat audience coming in, there's something fresh for them as well.
100%. Like the nature of the show is, it is sketch based, but in a way that still, upholds the sort of platform we're using, theatre. So yes, we have like our script and our dialogue and like our storyline, but we are making sure we're, adding new masala into that pot to really come alive. So it's so much fun. Like I'm not bored of it yet, and I don't think even after 100 shows I could get bored of this show, because it's just so fun. Like every time we start rehearsal, I'll look at Gilly and he'll be like, oh, we could do this, we could do that, we could ad-lib this, and we literally have to tell ourselves like, we have to just keep doing this show, because that's the only way we can fit in the new creativity each time we do it on the stage.
So Paulo, when obviously when you were approached for this role, when you saw it, was it a yes straight away, or did you kind of think, playing a female in the show?
No, so I've obviously been doing sketches and things like that this for years and years, and I think it was pretty much a yes straight away. Obviously I did my normal screen check, like, okay, what do these guys want to do? And instantly I knew that both Archana and Hiten really wanted to put on a quality production and something really unique as well. They didn't want just, a show there to fill a gap, but they were like, no, let's do something that is unique, is different, but also empowers, that next generation of British Asian artists that want to come up, that want to, be choreographers, that want to be dancers or comedians or, live musicians or live singers. So once I knew that that's what AK stood for, I was very happy and excited to get on board and, just crack on and do what I have to do.
And the best thing about the show is that it's family based. It's very clean comedy. It's not any kind of crudeness in it. So obviously everyone can watch it. What would you say about the kind of concept of the show and how relatable it is to the families?
It's a very universal show. I don't feel like this is a show that only South Asians can enjoy, or only Punjabis, or only Gujaratis, or only, Londoners or people from Leicester. It's literally for everyone, because it's quite a people-watchy show. Like anyone would be intrigued to see what it is like to put on, a big fat desi wedding. Yeah. Because everyone knows Indian weddings are the most lavish, the most grandest, the most craziest, the longest. But no one has actually brought that narrative onto a stage to see, especially through the lens of comedy. So I feel like we've had loads of non-Indians, non-South Asians, non-Gujaratis, non-Punjabis come along and watch this show as well. And I always deliver the dialogue in 3 languages, or 2 minimum. English is always there. So it's not like a Gujarati natak, or it's not just South Asian theatre. It's literally for the masses. Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a live show, so when you kind of see that reaction from the audience members, you can't obviously react to them so much, because obviously you've got a storyline that's going on. But how does that make you feel inside as an actor when you see that kind of response?
Anyone that has worked with me knows that I'm so serious about this. It's so much fun being Mrs. Kapoor, but when I mean work, and I literally transform myself right from like 8 a.m. in the morning right up until like 12 a.m. when I take that nail polish off, have used my 100th face wipe to get that makeup off. I'm in character. So nothing really makes me really laugh or corpse up, because I'm like, well, I don't see what you find so funny, because I'm just this Asian auntie trying to put on the best ever Indian wedding ever. I'm in character and that's it. And if I do play up to the audience, it's a part of the show. This is an interactive show. It's not one dimensional. It's two dimensional. I look to the audience. Sometimes I even ask them questions like, don't you think my husband's stupid for like not helping me? So
That's
it's quite,
the beauty of it,
that's the
I
beauty
think,
of
yeah.
it. Like, Mrs. Kapoor is very real. She, you know, you do have that opportunity to actually spend time with her if you get to the theatre on time.
There's a scene where you do some singing, right? It's a bhajan, and I think it was the Leicester crowd that actually knew the song, and they joined
They started
in
singing.
with them. That was amazing.
And that bhajan's always changing. I might be
They're loving it though.
in this bhajan mood one day, and the next day I might be in another thing.
Yeah.
And people who have come to see the show again know that, like, without giving too much away, the opening scene, I might come out doing something. So they're like, oh, is he going to do it this way or that way? So it is interactive. And I think that's the beauty of it. Mrs. Kapoor is inviting everyone to this wedding. It's not sort of just watching, but you're attending a wedding.
Yeah.
And to our house, like we're opening our doors to our house. So,
It is indeed. I mean, that's how it feels, really, because when
Yeah.
when you enter the theatre, you see, obviously, it's like you guys are embracing your guests into the family, isn't it? So, I do want to ask you about the localization, because you just mentioned, obviously, there's a bhajan, and you know, a bhajan won't work everywhere you tour. So, how do you kind of adapt to each city you go to?
So we work quite closely with Parley in terms of researching the different areas that we go to. So, for example, if we were doing Leicester, we'd look at the local areas, the restaurants. So there's quite a lot of references to people and places here, and then we try and plug them in. And it's nice because the audience members laugh at those points because they relate to it. They've been to those places. So it's just a little bit, it's quite a lot of research that goes into it and how we would kind of plug it into the production.
That's great. Hey, Jen, let's talk to you as well, because I do want to ask you from the kind of production perspective, you know, how much time and effort goes into a show like this when you're preparing it?
I think it's a great show, and from start to finish you have like 35 of us going from start to the very, very end. You have to look at the hotels, the loading, the theatres, and every
the doorbells,
theatre.
making sure they ring on time.
Every theatre has its own requirements. So I have a phenomenal team, and we just go about taking each section at a time and just mastering each venue, each local area, and putting it together is a lot of fun.
It's months of preparations though that go behind it.
And each
It really
theatre is a new venue.
Yeah.
So like we can be as prepped as you like, but you get there on the day and they're like, well, what do you mean you need a light here? We've never used a light here ever. And we're like, well, that's the only way we've ever rehearsed. So what now? So Hiten is on the ball. He's literally like, that's fine, we'll do it this way around. Pale, you do this. And at half the times, Archana will be running around doing something. Because Archana's directing the dance, it's not just comedy here. She's got to tell the singers, the dancers, the choreographers. So she'll just be like, okay, Gilly, make sure you do this. Gilly will somehow relay that over to me. And I'll be like, that's fine. I know that we're in Bradford this time, so I've got more Urdu in my dialogue, not Gujarati. So I'm like, it's fine, while you're telling me this and I'm practicing my Urdu, that's you tell me this. It's literally like putting on a wedding.
They're totally in character. So I also play their daughter.
Yes.
I'm the second daughter, and literally when they're in character, I'm just like mum and dad.
Yeah.
They are mum and dad on the day. And it's when the shows are finished, Parley's taken off his makeup and everything, that's when Parley's back in action.
Yeah.
That's how engrossed in their character they are and how believable it feels.
I-
We do feel like a family
Yeah,
on
it's
stage.
true.
When he's shouting at me on stage, I literally feel like my mum shouting at me.
I feel like we've all learnt to work with one another as well. Like right at the beginning, I'm like, look, there's one thing if I request when we're doing this show, just let me transform myself into Mrs. Kapoor. Please just give me enough time.
And we give him that
I don't
space.
I don't like a 70% transformation and then getting on stage because I don't feel like I'm Mrs. Kapoor, then I don't deliver. So I'm like, just give me that little bit time longer, because you know, it's not just an auntie coming along and playing. I'm transforming myself mentally to become an auntie, shaving, whatever, everything.
I see this transformation.
Every time he's
Cool,
just intrigued.
he's doing
Like,
it.
oh my
I literally
God.
look at him like, just what on earth is going on
Yeah.
here? Like, I saw you 2 minutes ago, you're Parley, and now you're my wife. Like,
Yeah.
I think a few times I've turned to him and goes, you look so hot today, man.
and every time he says that, I'm just like, well, have you rehearsed your lines? You do realise we've gotten rid of this dialogue. I'm literally like his wife. I'm like, okay, that's great. I look good. I know that. But you need to make sure that we've changed this and we've done that and this is happening and the light will come from this side and you need to walk around this way instead of that way. So we're just all on the ball,
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice, fantastic. Darshan, would you ever play Mr. Kapoor if ever you had the opportunity to play that?
Play Mrs. Kapoor. Do you know what?
We want a successful show, mate.
have you considered playing Mr. Kapoor?
Do you know something, right? Even when we're rehearsing, like if he's doing something else, I start doing his lines, and I'll be like, "Sassy, come here," and all of that sort of stuff.
I don't think I've seen you without the beard, though.
No, I mean my beard.
He's actually growing this for Sashi.
Okay. All
So
right.
I can't.
That'll be a big
I've been asked. I can't touch it.
Yeah.
So it's just growing.
part of the
So
character.
it's part of
Yeah.
the character.
This is the thing, the character becomes like a big part of your life. It's
Yeah.
not just like, and I feel like, in all honesty, when you do sketch and comedy, people are like, oh, it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Because it is fun to watch, isn't it? It's something you look at and you laugh at, so that equals fun. But it's equally as grueling as if you were doing drama or if you were doing a musical or if you were doing something really serious, because you still have to think about that
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, of
it's not
course.
me on stage. It's not Gilly on stage.
Yeah, because Gilly plays a Punjabi
Dad, so yeah,
that's
he's
very
practicing
different
all of
to
that.
what he is already. So it's really studying that and acting and engrossing yourself into that character.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. Archie, let's also talk about the changes that have come over the 3 years. I mean, what have you had to kind of tweak to make it better? And obviously, you're from a creative background, so you must be thinking, oh, this has worked this time, but maybe not so this time around. So, can you talk about the changes and what we can expect this time around?
Yeah, definitely. So when we first started the show, it was based on dancing. We were trying to portray dancing a lot through the wedding, because weddings are all about dancing and singing, and then we had the acting to complement it. I think the feedback that we got was the show was absolutely fantastic, and a lot more people wanted to see more of Sashi and Lakshmi Kapoor. So what we have done over the time is really added their characters a little bit more.
Right.
So you really see the journey of the family, and now the characters are saying that they have engrossed into the characters, and you see a little bit more about their personalities and what they're feeling about the wedding as well. The daughters have a little bit more personality, and I think you get to see a bit more of the family. So as the new tour kicks off, you will see some new scenes, some new things going on that you haven't seen before. So there are a few surprises here and
That's
there.
great to know, because for people who have already seen the show, there's going to be quite a few surprises for them. So,
Definitely.
That's going to be great. And what about talking about just general, say, new bits in there? I mean, you mentioned scenes. Are we going to see any new characters? Is there anything like that you got planned this time around?
At the moment, this family is quite crazy. It's enough to deal with on stage. So any more characters, I don't think my mum and dad will be able to take them. Every time the doorbell rings, Lakshmi Ben is like, who is that? Who is
What
that?
now?
What now? What's happening? So the characters that you see on stage, they are full-on drama, and what we have on stage it works so perfectly. We're in our third tour now, and it is the most slickest performance at the moment, especially with all the feedback that we've got. We've really inputted it into this production, so this is one of the best tours I think it will be.
That sounds great. And let's also talk about the singers and the rest of the dancers as well, because you've got a massive team.
Yes.
Same singers, same dancers and performers.
Yeah, so we have a West End singer, Shahida Baz Khan, who's been absolutely fantastic, and we have Dripti Vaja, and we may be introducing some new elements to the show in terms of the singing as well, so that'll be quite nice. Adding in some new remixes, which really went well in the previous shows that we did. So we will like to try and update that as well. So there'll be some really good songs that we'll be putting into the Sangeet night and the reception night. And in terms of the dancing, there will be a few twists in the dancing as well. So
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
No, really, I mean, I've seen the show twice now, so I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it third time round.
Brilliant.
Because I know how much love everyone's. And you see the reaction. I mean, I was sitting in when I went to the Leicester show, just see the reaction and see kind of people. And the way that they were, applauding and getting off the seats and just in laughter and stitches. So it's just great to see that kind of vibe.
It's like roars of laughter.
It's very rare to see that, because you don't get to see so many kind of stage shows like this
Yeah.
in the UK. So
I think that's the beauty of this show, that it's brought so many non-theatre goers to come out and actually enjoy theatre. So that's a really good thing
theatre
as
is
well.
a huge part
Yeah.
of South Asian culture. If you like go back to the subcontinent, India, Pakistan, theatre is a big part of life there, and a lot of people haven't here had the opportunity to reinvent theatre in a localized way, where it's still loud and proud desi, but also British as well. What happens here, not back out in India. So this show is very authentic to that. It is very British Asian. It is a reality of, you know, what's going on Melton Road, Belgrave Road to Ealing Road or Southall or whatever. And I think that's why it's been successful. To me, it's like flying. Every show I'm like, okay, it's a busy flight, it's a busy audience. If it's rowdy crowd, a lot of laughter, I'm like, a lot of turbulence today, so we're going to have to make sure we're steering and whatever. That's how it feels, isn't it? When I'm coming out, I do up my top button and I feel like, okay, now the song's going to come on and we're just ready for takeoff, waiting. This is what it feels like. And after it lands, you're like, oh, good flight, good flight, good flight.
Good way to put it. And generally, so let's talk about the dates, because you've got dates here, and
We've got
you're kicking
loads
off.
of dates,
Leicester Haymarket is where it's going to be kicking off. So do you want to just go through the dates?
Yeah, sure. So we got the 4th of April at the Leicester Haymarket Theatre, and then we're heading to Birmingham on the 5th of April. And then we've got Milton Keynes Theatre. So this is a new theatre. We've never been to Milton Keynes, but there's been so much demand for Mrs. Kapoor to come down there. So on the 12th of April, we'll be at Milton Keynes. And then we're moving on to Croydon, which is Parley's area.
Out London.
Yeah.
It's great because there are people that I know in London, and they were saying the same as well, that they want to watch the show and to have it in Croydon. It's brilliant.
Yeah, Croydon's going to be amazing. I mean, already tickets are flying in Croydon. So we're going to be at Fairfield Halls on the 2nd of May. And then we're moving to Manchester for the first time. Manchester have been making so much noise that nobody comes up there. So we are bringing
people drive
our
from Manchester to
crazy
Leicester to
wedding.
watch it.
Yeah, we're bringing our crazy family to Manchester. So please show us some support. Show Mrs. Kapoor some support and book the tickets. We're going to be at the RNCM Theatre on the 10th of May. And then we're going to go back to our home, the Beck Theatre, which is where we started all of this, in Hayes, and tickets for those are already going. So, you know, London people really book those tickets quick. And then we're at High Wycombe, the Wycombe Swan Theatre. Again, that's the first time we're going to be there. And the date for that is the 30th of May. So we have some really new venues that we're going to be going to, and some old places that we're going to be revisiting again.
Oh, that's exciting, isn't it? So the new audiences, the new people, the new venues. I think they have been asking for you guys to be travelling in certain places where you haven't been before, so it's great that you're doing that. Manchester, just quickly mention that, because I know you were there last year. Let's talk about the Asian Media Award. Unfortunately, you didn't win, but we know that you guys are winners anyway. Finalists for that, you know, what a great achievement. I mean, in such a little time, you know, getting so much love and appreciation from everyone.
Definitely, I think it's a fantastic feeling to be even nominated. I think it just being there with the family there, and amongst such amazing other shortlists there, it was a fantastic feeling. We had a great time. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Guys, just want to say thank you so much. I mean, all the best with Miss Kapoor's Daughter's Wedding 2020 tour. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We'll get the details on the screen, which you can see online, and also the website address. Do you want to give that as well? Because you're quite active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Definitely. If you want to follow the wedding, there's always a journey behind a wedding. So if you want to follow the journey, do like or follow us on our social media handles. In terms of ticket bookings, it's www.mkdw.co.uk.
So you can buy the tickets online, right?
Yes.
Yep. Brilliant. Great. Thank you so much. I just want to say all the best with the tour. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And congratulations again, 3rd year running.
Yay.
Let's make it 4th, 5th and 6th or however else. I mean, it could be a sequel later on. You never know. It could be...
Who knows?
Yeah, it's all about sequels and remixes, isn't it, these days? But thank you very much again, guys.
Thank
you.
I'm trying to look out for you and get you married off fast and fast before you look like a Vidva in your own wedding album. Really? What are you doing now in life?
Well, I'm a doctor.
Go